We do not know that we're the only ones with souls. We don't know for sure of anything. I'm tired of people that are being so sure that they're correct, that their ideas are right. But really, we don't know for sure that we're just the dominant species right now. That's just it. We're intelligent, I know. We are really intelligent. I mean, most of us, not most of these little fools who just blindly believe whatever you tell them. But, hey, we're the most intelligent animal. But, you know, it's just like, it's like this. We don't know this. But we do know science. And science tells us that we're just another species. That we're an animal. We're a mammal. We're classified as that. So if you're going to go around saying, and you know what, even if you want to quote the Bible, even if you want to talk about the Bible, if you want to talk about that, it says man has dominion, right? And that's true because we are the dominant species, so we have dominion. But most people seem to think that means that man has domination. And there is a big frickin' difference. Animals aren't our frickin' slaves. We can't be using them the way we're using them. We can't be abusing them the way that we're abusing them. And, you know, I myself choose to be a vegetarian. You know what? It's cool. You know, that's just my belief. But if we're going to be killing these animals, because, you know what? I guess that's natural. You know, killing animals for food, that's the natural thing, right? Okay, great. But if we're going to be killing animals, we still can't be abusing them like we have been. You know, the meat we're eating, the meat that you eat, aren't just animals that most of it, unless it's like free range, and you know what, I'm all for that. Even though I don't eat any meat at all because I don't feel it's necessary for me. And I don't like to eat anything that's, you know, I don't like to eat anything that's been killed unless it's for survival purposes, which it's not. I can get by without eating meat, and so I'm going to do that. But most of it just isn't like animals that have been, you know, they've lived a long, healthy life, and then they slaughter them. Then we eat them, and then whatever. No, these animals have been abused and mistreated their whole life. Okay, so it's just disgusting. It's absolutely sickening how the meat industry is. And most people know it and don't do anything about it. Look, if you're going to eat meat, I recommend you at least eat free range. Seriously. Eat free range, and it's like, and then, but if you're going to just be mistreating and abusing animals, that's just disgusting. And you can use religion, to back it up, like that we're, like, dominant, but that doesn't mean we can mistreat the animals. You know, it doesn't. They have feelings. I believe they have souls. If they can think, they must. Yeah, but back to the concept of God and homosexuality being wrong and how it's been outlawed. I'm just sick of it. And you know, I heard about this movement lately about the whole God hates fags, God hates America, and even God hates Fred Phelps, who was the one who was trying to do this whole God hates fags thing. Look, God doesn't hate anybody. If you want to quote the Bible, Jesus came and I don't even know the freaking quote, but it's something about Jesus came down to save the world. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Okay? And now I don't think that following the teachings of Jesus Christ, being Christian, is the only way to get closer to God. What I take what Jesus said, you know, a lot of what Jesus said was like, he said you have to follow me to be like, to get into heaven. What I take it as, you just have to be moral. Simple as that. And, you know, So God doesn't hate anybody. God loves everybody. I couldn't see how God could hate anybody, really. I mean, if God hated people, how could he? How really could God just hate? Have hate for us? He freaking created us. He created us. I don't see how he possibly would hate us. I mean, obviously he created homosexuality. It's to keep the population down, okay? Homosexuality is God's idea to keep the population down. It's the truth. And yeah, God, if you read the Bible, it'll show that God loves everybody. And I like to explain my beliefs on heaven and hell too. They're states of mind. I choose to believe they're states of mind because the whole concept of you go to hell and burn for eternity, it just seems disgusting to me. That there would be no opportunity for redemption after death. I mean, and I've spoken about a lot of this stuff in songs, obviously not as long as I'm speaking right now, but I have mentioned it in some songs. Well, for me, heaven and hell is a state of mind. Because really, the way you think is the only thing that's even real, anyways. You can't even know what's real anymore. All that is real is your thoughts. And, like I said, this is just what I believe. And I just think we keep thinking. After death, we just continue working on our problems, continue working on the way we see people, and continue working on loving all of those around us. And and do I believe in a hell? Yes. But that's kind of like divine justice. For example, Hitler. He's not going to be just die and be happy. I mean, assuming there is life after death. He's going to suffer for what he's done. But once he starts and he'll still suffer once he realizes it's wrong, but he'll have a chance to redeem himself just through his thoughts, really. He'll have a chance to, but once he realizes he's wrong, that's the first step. You understand? Like, that's the first step to coming back. And it's the same way. And I'm sure a lot of you Christians, and I'm not damning anybody, because everybody has a chance, but any of you bigoted Christians who think that you're the only one who knows what's right and thinks that your way is the only way, you're probably gonna suffer depending on how much you're trying to put this on people. And but it's none of my business. It's none of my business. What you go through now and after death is something that you go through. But there's no way that God could possibly hate anybody. There's no way. It's just we have trials so we can grow and we can learn. So I gotta wrap this up because I don't want this to go past the part 2. But I'm not asking anything, but I'm just saying, stop trying to enforce your views on us. We're gonna believe what we want to believe, and we should let people believe what they choose to believe. That's what freedom of religion is. We need to start separating church and state. And I know as soon as I'm allowed to vote, that's going to be in 4 years, I am going to be an active fighter, and I still am an active fighter now, for the separation of church and of state, the concept that seems to have died. And do I care about one nation under God? No. There are more important things to me than whether or not we say one nation under God. But still, gotta separate church and state. When you're voting, think about, am I doing this for religious beliefs? Because if you are, then you need to separate what's right in your mind from what's right because of the church. Alright. God loves you.